This is Transformers. Andrea Vernier.
I went to Biella and met Andrea and saw his company, and they have incredible innovation. And I thought it needs to be told, the whole story.
Thank you very much.
Coffee break after this presentation.
So, thanks a lot, Andrew, Mariette, for this opportunity. And so our product is Resichrome, and let me give some information about myself. Mainly, I'm a dreamer. I had yacht politics, local politics experience, and in the entertainment and restaurant management. Now I'm general manager at innovative chemicals textile company, Officina Plus 39. Before I tell you a bit more about Resichrome and how this innovation was developed in the context of both the industry and the town I come from, I would like, firstly, to ask you a question. Can one of the world's cleanest dye add value to brands and retailers? This is our question. So, I think one of the biggest challenges for our industry is to create transparency and to make it possible to understand sustainability, a word that has otherwise largely lost all meaning. In addition, with all the innovations and new technology, consumers understand very little about apparel and the difference between a responsible produced garment and one which is not. Do you agree with me? So, firstly, who we are. Quickly, back to who we are. My company is called Officina Plus 39. We are a textile chemical company based in Biella, Italy. Officina means in Italian workshop. And as such, we speedily develop and execute new and sustainable ideas for dyeing, effects, and finishing in the garment industry, with a particular focus on denim. The company works with partners worldwide to find new innovative ways to make textile a cleaner and greener industry. We are born in Biella and still in Biella. Biella is just an hour away from Milan. Textile is in our blood. Textile history goes back 1,000 years in Biella, since it was part of the wool route. People were attracted to the remarkable soft waters that pummeled down from the nearby Alps, which reduced the risk of rejection during dyeing and finishing. It has always been about high-end materials, the cashmere and all the rest, so mistakes were unforgivable in our textile market. We always had a highly skilled workforce. But yes, as most of you here now, things changed in recent years. Manufacturing went east. The economy went sour. While Biella still produces the best cashmere in the world, many of us had to reinvent ourselves. We are a family company. My father founded the company in 1992. And my mom and sister also were in the company. Now they light up our sky. My grandfathers were originally also both in the industry. We are very much part of Biella, long relation with the textile. One of my grandfather was tailor, the other one working for a major fashion company as a creative director. By the time the economic crisis of 2007 hit, I was working with my father. We had to reinvent ourselves. The company persisted by relying around technology and new ideas. By setting up a new R&D lab, we could successfully help client manufacturers speed up innovation. We pushed it forward. But we also wanted to do more. So the real challenge after innovation, making that technology a value-adding component of the next link in the chain for the brands and retailers. We are a company that offers chemical solutions to the garment industry. Not more, not less. We came up with a new technology. The way we see it, our real challenge is now twofold: to scale to brand. Can something such as dyestuffs be branded? We don't know yet. But this is our aim. And I'm curious if you feel this is important. And if you feel, after this presentation, that there are true value in branding fueled by storytelling for dyestuffs. So, Michelangelo Pistoletto is very important in our story. How an artist, philosopher influenced our business, my business thinking. And how I found that more in Biella, my city. Michelangelo Pistoletto is one of the most famous living artists, and he set up a foundation called Le Città dell'Arte in a old abandoned mills. His mission, save the world, to create a third paradise that will bring nature and humans back into harmony. Here, a permanent staff works with experts, designers, businesses, and schools to explore sustainable products and practices. May it building houses out of rice husk or a clothing line from plastic bags. I became very involved on their fashion side and was very inspired by what they were doing. Venus of the Rags, where I found the direct spark inspired my idea that will become Resicrom later. This is Venus of the Rags is one of the most famous artwork of Michelangelo Pistoletto. It shows a Venus, a concrete statue he had bought at a garden store, surrounded by a pile of discarded rags. It not only helped me to understand his mission, but to find my mission, to upcycle rags into riches. What is Resicrom? To summarize what Resicrom exactly is, Resicrom creates a full range of color powder using textile fibers from used clothing and manufacturing waste. Through a sophisticated production process, fibers are transformed into an incredible fine powder that can be used as a pigment to dye or print fabrics and garments. As to my knowledge, there is no other dye technology on the market which is able to do this. While Pistoletto offered inspiration, the real trigger for the innovation also came from Biella. With its long tradition in textile, Biella also had a long tradition in recycling. One day I was visiting an old friend of mine, Simone Gaslini, who has a spinning unit for regenerating yarn, Filatura Astro. He was showing me how he selected and sorted scraps, and I suddenly noticed some powder coming from his machines. He gave me some, and that would become my first trial. I discovered it would be used as a very poor pigment dye because we just obtained a very, very light color. We then sent out to make a perfectly uniform powder. We spent the next 18 months on this request. And yes, my colleagues are there, and they were thinking I was crazy, like a small yellow creatures. After all, how do you transform something so stretchy as textile into something solid and dusty? But happily, now they think I'm a bit less crazy. So, we know that more or less 15% of fabrics intended for clothing ends up on the cutting room floors. And more or less 85% of this waste goes to landfill, where it occupies about 5% of landfill space. 1 kilogram of textile waste can be upcycled into 1 kilo of Resicrom. This is the main important point. Most of us know this fact. That second to oil, the clothing and textile industry is the largest polluter in the world. And now imagine if most of the wasted textile that go to expensive landfill each year could be recycled and be used as an equal amount of clean dye. We are now producing 10 tons of Resicrom per year. Next near future, we hope to start a new producing line for 100 tons. Now, imagine what we can do altogether in 10 years. Resicron can be applied in cotton, wool, nylon, or any other natural or artificial fibers and their blends. Also Tencel, we try it. It can be applied using various methods: exhausting, dyeing, dipping, spray, screen painting, and we are working hardly on coating to solve some technical problem. Here is coming from our LCA and of the product, and you can see the impact. For example, one of the really surprised us was the aquatic eutrophication, where it's giving credit to the LCA final assessment. But also, we have to be really transparent and say what Resicron cannot do. I call it a wonder dye stuff, but of course, there are some limitations. It's not possible to obtain very dark shades. The colors come out with a washed out look. It's a natural look, which is a current trend I don't imagine going away in the near future. General color fastness are good. Only color fastness to light can be a question, can be an issue. In fact, we noted that Resicron obtained and recycling fabrics dyed originally with dye stuff with good color fastness to light can maintain also good color fastness to light in our Resicron dyes. On the contrary, most probably, poor light fastness on the original scraps, on the original fabrics textile waste, it will cause also poor light fastness in our Resicron. For light fastness, we have one solution in the future, in the near future. Make a preselection of the textile waste to be transformed into Resicron, and use only those ones with suitable characteristics. To do this, it will be important to activate a true circular economy between the brands, the fabric clothing manufacturers, and us, in order to trace the dyes originally used. Like any new technology, there are a lot of factors that decide if we become scalable. This is where we stand. After winning the Kiaus High-Tech Award at Munich Fabric Start in 2017, we started getting noticed. We began collaboration with Italian high street retailer OVS, which has so far resulted in 2 capsule collections, the latest involving 25,000 pieces. We have also been used in the raw research this year by G-Star, and we are in collection for Target, Next, Marco Polo, and Benetton. Plus, we are talking with a lot of other major retailers and brands. Resicron, does it add value? Our biggest challenge was probably always to start thinking about this new technology as a brand. We wanted to get our story heard. And our story is all true. We have nothing to hide. We realized that we needed to become recognizable and communicate it a way that helped consumers understand why Resicron dyed garments impact the environment much less than others. This is what adds value. One of our first steps was to invite a team from the Book of Denim to Biella. We introduced them to Biella, its long history in textile, the wonderful lifestyle we enjoy there, and took them to the Città dell'Arte. Only after two days of settling them into the place did we introduce and explain our new technology in detail. We gave them the contest to tell a deeper story of our innovation. They got excited, and hope the interpretation of the story will also get others excited. So, here we are. I hope I have been able to share some of our passion with you. Do you think Resicron is a technology, or rather a story, or branding? Can it help the consumer feel more engaged with the clothing they wear? I believe it can. Resicron, both as a product and idea, is something tangible that can be understood by all. Not something vague or uncontrollable, like that often heard word sustainability. I believe Resicron is accountable, and I hope you believe this too. I know there is a lot of passion in this room for change. Let's share this passion. Let's be transparent and circular together. Perhaps in this way, a word such as sustainability can start to mean something again. So let's start sharing our stories. Thank you.